Now, roughly 4 hours after magnitude 5.0 seismic tremor was detected near North Korea's nuclear test site, Pyongyang officially confirmed it on state TV, claiming it has successfully conducted a nuclear test. Connie Kim, our correspondent in charge of North Korean affairs, is standing by at Seoul's unification ministry. Connie, so what exactly did Pyongyang say about this test?
Right, Connyoung, North Korea made the announcement about 4 hours after it pressed the button on its fifth nuclear test. Through its official run Korean Central Television at around 1:30 p.m. South Korea time, North Korea said it has, quote, successfully conducted a nuclear warhead explosion test.
Through this nuclear test, the artillery units of the Korean People's Army have reconfirmed the capability and power of a standardized nuclear warhead that can be fitted on top of a strategic ballistic rocket.
The televised report also said the regime can produce a variety of nuclear weapons of higher strike power that have been miniaturized and made lighter in weight. KCTV went on to say that the nuclear test was a response to sanctions led by the U.S. and its allies, and that Pyongyang will continue to develop its nuclear weapons as a means of self-defense.
Well, Connie, this nuclear test comes in the heels of strong international condemnation over the regime's series of missile launches. It's the second nuclear test this year alone. Global sanctions are already taking a toll on Pyongyang's coffers. So what could be the possible reason for Kim Jong-un to carry out this nuclear test at this time?
Well, Connyoung, we first have to look at what Kim Jong-un said back in March. Kim said that the regime will carry out a nuclear warhead explosion test as soon as possible and launch ballistic missiles that can mount a nuclear warhead. So if Friday's test turns out to be successful, that would mean the reclusive state has come a step closer to acquiring nuclear weapons for actual use. And just like the fourth nuclear test in January, North Korea's nuclear test today came suddenly and without prior notice. There have been reports of increased movements at the North's Punggye-ri nuclear test site, but there were no signs of an imminent nuclear test, such as transporting nuclear weapons or installing instrumentation device. But such move will only isolate the reclusive regime even more than now. Seoul's unification ministry said it'll cooperate with the international community to push for new and tougher sanctions against Pyongyang. The ministry plans to strictly implement sanctions, namely banning entry of smuggled North Korean goods to South Korea and continuing to halt all North Korea exchanges by private institutions. Connyoung.
All right, our Connie Kim from the Ministry of Unification in downtown Seoul. Thank you, Connie.